Our travels are taking us in a new direction for a few days. The guys from the Team 5 Foundation have arrived here in Belize, as well as Steve Talaki, our newest expedition member. We're all about to take on a special mission together.
Oh, that felt good.
I'm Eric. I'm the founder of Team 5 Foundation, Special Forces, which we call SoftMed, a medical foundation that takes Special Forces operators that were either in or are right now active Special Forces units and bring them into overlooked locations around the world because of their experiences and their education in different wildernesses like the jungles, deserts, where normal medical foundations just can't reach.
Eric held a command staff position of director in the UN mission in Kosovo. He's one of the only Americans ever recruited for Israeli Special Forces Combat Search and Rescue Team, and went on to earn a fellowship in wilderness medicine, where he became interested in building the most remote and austere foundation, Team 5. Griff is a West Point graduate and spent his time in Iraq and Afghanistan participating in over 150 Special Operations Direct Action missions. And Dr. Keith, well, we can't really talk about him, if you know what I mean.
So we're in the last 20 miles of Belize. We're on our way out. We are trying to make the Guatemalan border tonight. We are hoping that if we get to the border at the end of the day, that they'll be tired and sloppy and want to just sign us out so they can go home.
Didn't take long to realize that these guys fit right in.
I don't know how to use this thing.
Go straight.
Thank you.
Here at the Guatemalan border, just going in, we're going in undercover, trying to film some of this process. Hopefully we can get through quickly, get through tonight, but it is quite hectic, which is good, or it might be bad, I just don't know. All right, so what's my next step? Fumigation? Yep, okay. All right, thank you.
We got two more guys with us that are the exact same scoop. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now we head into fumigation, get our truck sprayed down.
As we finalize the vehicle paperwork to enter Guatemala, the other guys catch a quick soccer game with the local kids.
Oh, look at this kid.
Myself and the other drivers have finally completed our paperwork.
Spent like $4 making copies over there.
Making copies.
Yeah. Total scam, but it's the way it is. Hopping in. Let's rock and roll.
It's time to crank out some miles into Guatemala and find a camp area for the night. We land at a small hotel that lets us camp in the parking lot by the lake.
Coming up. An awesome time.
At dinner, we get a sense of what's going to happen in the days ahead.
Triage area first, and you're going to do blood pressures. You're going to get an idea of what they have. Then you're going to send it to Eric and I. And Eric and I may split on one. We may work together on one. Then we may split if it's two medical patients. And then we'll say, okay, give this guy this antibiotic this many times a day for this many days. You don't want it to become a big Charlie Fox drive. So let's just do what we can do.
My name is Matt Griffin. I'm a co-founder and CEO of Combat Flip-Flops. It's a company. We make cool stuff in dangerous places. We go to conflict areas or post-conflict areas. We use special operations veterans and the network that we've created there, and we go and find people that want to do business. And we make small manufacturing businesses, and we teach them how to work on a Western level, and we spec product with them and build relationship, and then teach them how to ship product all over the world. And we use a portion of the profits to go back to help their local community. And we started by making flip-flops in Afghanistan, and now we're making sarongs and scarves and cashmere in Afghanistan in a woman-owned factory, putting little girls in Afghanistan to school, which is important because if you educate a woman, you educate a family, you educate communities, and then pretty soon you have an educated country, and you can't enslave an educated population. So we sell products and we donate money to these guys, and it's awesome to be able to take these special operations veterans, the best medics in the world, with all this training that we've invested millions of dollars of taxpayers into and continue to use them as a national asset to put a big smiley face on America around the world, and it's pretty cool.
All right. Well, we're going to go to, it's called Quebrada Saca. Going there because we have a good relationship with them. We've been going there for about 4 years now. Where we're going, they have a cement building that they use as a clinic. It's a real clinic. During clinic, it gets a little crazy because they don't have TV. We're TV for them. You know what I mean? Yeah. We're their TV. So anything going on, everybody comes.
Because normally you're going in by boat.
Only going by boat. So for me, we walk the dirt roads, and then we go off into the jungle. But those dirt roads continue. So for me, it's all new, and trying to get an answer out of these guys about the road conditions was not very helpful.
Our first objective is to pick up our translator in Rio Dulce. Apparently, Wilmer is only one of a few people that can speak our destination's dialect of Mayan, as well as Spanish and English.
So we just met up with Wilmer, who is our local Mayan guide and translator. And what he's going to do is he's going to take us into the villages where we're going to put on the clinics over the next 2 days with Team 5.
Heading into the jungle, a few questions started to form about the credibility of our guide.
Wilbur, have you been on this road before?
I don't know.
You don't know? No. Where are you taking us? Where are you taking us?
We take several turns left and right, west and east, through a labyrinth of roads. It eventually becomes apparent that our guide doesn't know where he is.
Entonces, porque Ilvi, camina apenas así se Río Dulce, la misma carretera. Camino con Las Vegas, camino con Río Frío.
5 years.
Sí,
5 años?
sí,
He hadn't been here
pero
since
no,
5 years.
no,
Yeah.
pero no había muchas calles.
The Wilbur's got some good intel from the local gentleman here. Gracias, señor.
Gracias. ¿La diosa de agua?
We missed a turn somewhere along the way, so we're gonna backtrack a bit, and we're gonna find it.
With new bearings, we kicked up the pace to make the village by dark. The trail goes through many shallow water crossings, and the exhilaration of wheeling deep in the thick jungle kicked up the adventure factor. Except for the hammer, nothing seems to faze him.
And I'm like super stoked. I'm like, that was sick. And we're turning around. I was like, isn't your heart pumping? He's like, no shots were fired, so I'm good.
Sorry, guys.
Occasionally, we come across farmers, and we confirm that our heading is still correct.
It's bien.
Good job.
Third time's the charm for Wilbur.
Wilmer's just having fun.
Yeah.
How many people are in your village?
40.
40.
About 40, yeah.
And you've lived in your village your whole life? Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the village.
The only village?
Yeah, on the village. Yeah.
Night has fallen, and the jungle becomes alive as we pull up to the village. Wilmer finds the village elder, and we make our acquaintances.
Second president.
Well, tell him it's nice to meet him. Tell him it's nice to meet him.
Yeah. Thanks for agriculture.
Was he here?
The power won't be on until morning, so the bulk of the setup will have to wait.
So we're good. We'll set up over here then, and then we'll get the keys.
With his blessing, we set up camp in the yard and remove the locks to the clinic.
This is amazing. I mean, who'd ever thought we'd be here? I'm humbled. I'm just so humbled by what's happening right now, and thankful. I can't wait for tomorrow.
So if you come in here, I'll show you some of the stuff. We donated everything that's in here. See, we've donated all of this stuff here. This is an ACLS bag that we made them, Advanced Cardiac Life Support bag.
Oh, wow.
So if they have somebody injured, they grab this backpack and they go out to where the guy's at, and everything they need is in here. This is a full-on pack of what we brought.
All day we've been traveling with these Team 5 guys and just getting to hear them and their story and their heart for being able to go to places like this. And it's just to be able to meet guys like that, the guys that have served our country and have done so much for us, and then get to work right alongside them. It's just awesome.
We're in the Amazon.
No, we're not. We're in the Mayan village.
Guatemala, not the Amazon.
Guatemala, not Amazon.
I want to tell him. So what we're doing here tonight is we're gonna make chili, but actually we're gonna lay down a bed.
I've got cans. That's what I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it I've got cans.
One time while we were up in Montana in the Priors, all we had was instant mashed potatoes and chili. So what you do is you make a nice bowl of mashed potatoes and you fill it with chili, and it's muy bien. So that's what we're making for dinner.
I've been working overseas for a long time. It started when I was traveling with my father in the Middle East. We were in Lebanon, Syria, and Israel during the war. Went to medical school, did my residency in general surgery, plastic surgery, and burns and critical care. Was in the military for a while, then did a lot of relief work in South America, Central America, and ended up in Afghanistan and Pakistan for about 8 years, training third country nationals in plastic surgery. I don't golf, so it was just one of those things where are you best needed? Eric tracked me down somewhere after the military, and here I am. We just kind of go to the areas no one else will. ¿Cuántos años tiene? 9 años. Juan's 9 years old, but we're here because of people like Juan. We try to impart the same values on our children that we see these kids. They don't have iPads, they don't have Xboxes. They're not sitting in front of TV, yet they're happy, they're playing, and when you get away on these trips, it kind of grounds you, it unplugs you. I tell my kids it unplugs you from the day-to-day back home, but it plugs you into life and plugs you into living. It's fun to hang out with guys like Juan. See?
These docs are type A's, straight up go-getters, and it seems like they are capable of anything. The word of the clinic being open has spread to the outside villages, and people are starting to gather as we make our final preps to take on the day.
Can we get somebody to help us?
We need to clean it, put a clean sheet on it.
Yeah.
Typically with 5 people, about 1,000 people through here in 5 days. So the faster we can get the cycle time down, get them treated and get them out of here, the more people we can help. So this is the long, boring, and tedious process of sorting the meds.
We're setting up our water filtration system so we can take well water from the village here that is clean but not pure, definitely not for use for medical water inside the clinic. So we're running it through our filtration system, which is a 3-filter system including a UV light on the tail end. However, we've just hooked this up for the first time. We haven't field tested it and it's leaking bad, like probably losing 50% of our water. So we're in the process right now of trying to track down the leaks, tighten up the fittings, and hopefully we can get this thing working so that we've got a good water supply to keep them going in the clinic.
Yeah, that's
so this thing seals up against the bottom, keeps water from getting up in that section. So that's exactly what the problem is. Boo.
Bummer. Man, that's major fail.
Yep.
Kurt, the engineer, is quick to find solutions.
We're going to antiviral using the Steripens.
Got it.
So we're going to go through our 2 mechanical filters, which will get large stuff out, and we'll use the Steripen for the last system.
A gallon at a time.
Gallon at a time, correct.
But that's okay. That's plenty for what we need today.
Correct. Please.
Inside, Jeff is receiving instructions on how to handle the medicines that he has been tasked with managing.
And they go like that, and I just drop it in their mouth. And I go, no, chew it. It's like chalk, basically. And they don't want to eat it. So, and then for every kid that you give that to, you can also give a sticker, you know.
Yeah, they're getting tattoos.
You know, they get tattoos, they get a sticker. Save the toothbrushes until after they're seen by the doctors.
Yep, that's the end.
Because we have toothbrushes for them. So I decided to make labels, and you have a half sun, so that's coming up in the morning. We have a full sun for the midday, and then we have a moon for nighttime. Oh, yeah. So what we'll do is I'll write on here, this is going to be the prescription. So I'm going to write on the label, and I'm going to say amoxicillin, and I'll put 1 at night, 1 in the morning. I think we're probably going to knock out about 50 people today. 60 people. However many.
I mean, they're lining up.
We got to be out by 2 o'clock.
Before long, the clinic is in full swing.
When you go on a mission, there's several different elements to it. One, you have to identify what you're going to do. You have to identify the patients. We call it target acquisition. We need to find out where the needs are. Everyone pitches in. It's going to be hot, it's going to be wet, it's going to be humid. We're going to get mosquitoes biting us where we really don't want to be bit. At the end of the day, we'll be tired, smelly, and hopefully helped a lot of people.
So he has to run around in bare feet all the time. If you notice around this village, there's a lot of turkeys and chickens and all other animals running around. And so that gets a lot of worms and stuff in the ground, and it hits my boy here through his feet. So this is a deworming medication that we put. It's all really expensive stuff. And the way this works is that this medication will paralyze the worm inside the kid so that way they can pass it. But it's something we have to do every time we come here with every person. So that's it. My boy Freddie, good to go.
A simple deworming pill will change a life here. It allows a person to get all the nutrition in their food rather than a parasite robbing it from them. Our dentist, that's supposed to be here, is nowhere to be found.
We're headed to a village around 15 minutes or so, that's what we're told, 15 minutes from here, in search of a dentist. Mariano here is going to be our translator, as is Kurt, so we got a little system to go through. But yeah, the dentist we had hoped would be here is no longer working in this area, so we need to go find another one. And we're just hoping this other dentist will work with us. He doesn't even know we're looking for him right now. So the hope is we can go say, hey, Team 5 has some equipment they will give you if you come work with us, because this dentist does work for pay.
Sí. 2 or 3 minutes? Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, yeah, I'm saying he's in another different village right now, so we're gonna go find him. Tools? Sí.
Instrumento.
Yeah, instrumentos es bien, es aquí. Sí. Yeah, I think they had tools there, right? Dentist tools?
Yep, dentist tools and drugs.
Yeah.
And he has equipment for him.
Medicina, equipmento, yeah. Sí.
Hay de todo.
Todo, sí.
Vale.
It sounds like this gentleman is willing to help us out. We just kind of walked into his village and into his house. He was just hanging out. He's gonna put some clothes on and grab his toolkit, you know, his medicine kit, and roll with us. So, and he seems like a pretty happy guy, more than willing to help. So we're very grateful for that, especially coming into a jungle in the middle of nowhere. This is kind of a crazy deal.
You know where they're at?
You work with Brian, right? You work with Dr. Brian. I brought in anesthesia, and then I brought you needles. Okay, so it's good. We're gonna work in here.
I'm now running a makeshift pharmacy. Make sure I get the right prescriptions, the right people out.
Wilmer, does he have any tools for pulling teeth or not?
And making sure I don't label things wrong.
Finally getting some systems worked out, the amount of volume of people that we have, the amount of workers that we have, and they're needing certain systems, so I'm keeping track of how many we're deworming, and then when there's vitals that need to be taken, we take vitals, and then a piece of paper will go back to the doctors with the vitals, so they have like a bit of a soap note before they have to start whatever they're doing with the problem that they're dealing with.
The local nurse is also getting some direction from the docs.
We're going to prescribe the drugs, and then she's going to hold on to the drugs that we don't have a lot of, like the eye drops that are Cipro. And what she's going to do is we'll prescribe it, and then every day they'll come to her house, and she'll administer the drops for them. That way we can use the same bottle for a lot of people, because if I send one bottle home, it only treats one patient, and they don't need all those drops. So that's what she's getting right now, is a crash course from Keith.
Just feet away in the other room, the dentist is already at work.
So well, one, I just killed a scorpion right behind me, sitting on the wall. Two, this guy's a beast. This dentist I saw him, 2 or 3 guys just pulling teeth, like just throwing them in a bucket. Just tooth. Wrenching off. Oh, you didn't snap it. Oh! Look at that molar. Look at the root on that thing. And he's still smiling.
Cannot believe that just happened. I was cringing for the man.
In America, we have these places where you can put headphones on and they'll put you to sleep.
It's all tranquil.
Oh yeah,
See
and
the
like, oh,
sea
you don't even have to
playing
see
in the
your
background.
dentist. No, here they just sit down, tear a tooth out, walk away, and go back to work. This is awesome.
Yeah. Nuts.
Right now he's helping this guy. This guy's got a broken tooth, and there are pieces still up in his mouth, and he's digging him out. This guy's hurting bad, but he's holding in there. They're strong, man. I mean, they're just taking it. I don't know if they're getting shots or anything, but they're just taking it. And as you can see right now, he's just helping him, trying to get as much of that tooth out as possible. And God, it looks painful. And he just walks out the back door. These dudes are hardy. These are hardy dudes.
About midway through the day, an interesting case comes through the door. A young girl has an odd lump on her back. Doc hops on the sat phone for a consult with one of his colleagues.
I'm calling you from the jungle in Guatemala. I need a consult real quick. I've got a little girl, she's 9 years old. She was brought in by her family, an otherwise healthy child, with a mass on her back. Thanks, brother. Talk to you soon. It's a full go, guys. It may be a teratoma. He thinks it, I mean, like I was thinking, that tumor, it's a teratoma. Really don't know. The answer is no one knows, but we're definitely going to take it, and it should be fun. This is important because this is going to help her change her life. Well, it is, because a lot of times in these villages, especially, they're not going to get married. I mean, no one's going to want to. You know, it's like they're defective. Yeah. At least a lot of places I work, when we do clefts and stuff, they consider them defective, so you have to fix them so they can. Okay, but this will help this little girl out.
What are we doing? Well, we just packed up. They decided to do the surgery on the girl's tumor. I think it's a tumor tomorrow morning. It's really hot and buggy, so we're gonna make our way.
The day is just too hot to perform the surgery. About a mile away, a boat is waiting to take us to a cool location. Team 5 has made special arrangements with their contacts at the finca.
I got 3G right there. That's funny.
Pretty, brother. Pretty happy.
We're going to a place called the Finca by boat down this shallow, narrow, windy river. So we're looking for an adventure right now. Well, time to relax and enjoy the evening. Go to a place we've never been, you know?
We travel across a lake and then up a windy river for over an hour. Then, through the jungle, along the bank, a jungle hideout comes into view.
Oh, pretty good. Luis, Kyle.
Luis.
Nice to meet you, Luis.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in that lake in about 5.
The finca is something out of Pirates of the Caribbean.
This is amazing. I've never seen this at all, ever.
With dinner cooking over an open fire, tropical rain pours off the jungle's leaves. After a long hot day, there's nothing better than a good dunk in the river. We gather to enjoy each other's company and partake in the best meal of the expedition so far. Our conversations roam from survival to expedition planning, a little ribbing, and of the day's events, something none of us will ever forget. It's remarkable how this whole experience is already starting to make an impact on us. But tomorrow is the real deal. A life-changing surgery awaits for a little girl.